Once upon a time, in a lush green meadow near a pond, there lived a group of frogs. They spent their days hopping around, swimming, and croaking happily together. But one frog, who we'll call Benny, had a very special dream. He wanted to be the biggest and strongest creature around. One day, as Benny and his friends were playing by the pond, an enormous ox wandered over. The ox was massive, with strong legs and big wide eyes. Benny had never seen anything so large. All the frogs looked up in awe. "Wow," croaked Benny, "did you see how big that ox is? I bet I could be as big as him if I tried hard enough." His friends laughed and shook their heads. "Benny, you're just a little frog. You'll never be as big as an ox." But Benny didn't listen. Instead, he puffed up his chest and took a deep breath, filling himself with air. "Look at me," he said proudly. "I'm already bigger." The other frogs giggled and said, "Benny, you're not even close." Determined, Benny took an even deeper breath and puffed up even more. His little green belly started to stretch and stretch, and he got bigger than any frog in the pond. He looked at his friends and asked, "Am I as big as the ox now?" "No, Benny, you're still way too small," they replied, laughing even harder. Benny didn't want to give up. He took the biggest breath he could, puffed up his cheeks, stretched his belly, and swelled up so much that he was twice his usual size. But as he kept pushing himself, trying to grow even bigger, something surprising happened. Pop! Benny's belly couldn't stretch anymore, and he had to let out all the air in a loud, silly squeak. The other frogs gasped, but then couldn't help but laugh. Benny felt a bit embarrassed. He finally realized that he would never be as big as the ox, and that was okay. The ox was big and strong in his own way, but Benny was special just as he was, quick, clever, and a great friend to his fellow frogs. From then on, Benny was happy being himself and stopped trying to be something he wasn't. The other frogs admired his bravery and were glad to have their friendly Benny back to his happy little self. The moral of the story, it's always good to be yourself and not compare yourself to others.